All right, Wolf, let's just say, I don't know, off the top of my head here, right? Okay, let's hear you. Absolutely. I'm just thinking here in the moment, let's say you're somebody who played 12 years in the NFL. I'll just pick a number.
All right.
Okay, maybe, I don't know, you were a third-round pick.
Okay.
After you were a big deal at Notre Dame, for example. Just, picking a rando college,
Okay, not 10 years in the NFL, 12 years in the NFL, Paulie.
That's right, Wolf. We're not talking about you.
Okay,
For
right.
once, we're not talking about you. Okay, we're talking about a guy who went to a Pro Bowl in his first year with the Cardinals. I don't know, career had I'll just pick a number out of the air: 65 career sacks, 16 career forced fumbles. Do you think that guy would look back at his big NFL career and say, the overwhelming highlight was the 5 years I was the player host of the Big Red Rage? How about that?
There it is.
That guy rejoins us tonight. Bertrand Berry, everyone,
Paulie,
the B-Train. Yes,
standing
ovation.
Okay,
Let's go.
okay,
Come on.
Here we
go.
Here we go. That's right.
Sit down.
The Big Red Rage.
And yes, I was standing. All right, here we go. Bertrand Berry, it is the original Thursday Night Football, and, man, are we going in the cold tub time machine. How are we doing, B-Train?
I'm doing pretty good. It's good to see you fellas. It's
been
a long time, man. I missed you guys.
Fantastic.
It's like,
how are you doing, man? You look good.
I feel good. I'm trying to keep moving and just try to stay busy and keep up with the family, and it's fun. Life is fun right now, but I'm so happy to be here. You guys, just being here in this environment, it just brings back so many good memories. Thank you guys for coming out, man. You guys are awesome for being here.
Yeah, man.
Wolf, the visual, too, it dispels those nasty rumors that, you let yourself go. You were pushing 400 pounds.
I refuse to be that guy. I refuse to be that guy.
You're staying in shape. It's good to see you.
I would never be the gutty Professor Paul. I would never be that guy.
Okay, but B, there's got to be something out there that you do that isn't quite as disciplined as you were when you were playing, of course. I mean, is there a food that...
I'm still a sucker for the M&Ms. I'm still a sucker for them. The M&Ms
on.
still get the
What,
M&Ms
the
still get
M&Ms?
peanut. It's got to be peanut.
I know.
To me, there's no.
I know. Why would you go with the
Why would
chocolate?
you go with the?
Come
right.
on.
Why would you
when
go
I
with
could
the
have
plain?
the chocolate and the peanut butter?
You gotta have the peanut.
Of course.
You gotta have the peanut M&M.
Okay, so you still, that's when you splurge, that's what your go-to
The yellow
is.
bag, brother.
Okay.
Only the yellow bag. The yellow bag is for champions.
There are two things that haven't changed: the peanut M&Ms, and then we don't get an invite to the man cave on College Football Saturday.
You guys are welcome anytime you want to come
some things
down,
never
brother.
change. That's the way it works.
Okay, Paulie.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So when you see a guy like Calais Campbell, okay,
The big tilt.
and we're going to cover anything and everything.
Yeah.
And we're going to go back into the archives. Jim Omahundro might win an award for production in this edition of the Big Red Rage.
We're
We'll
taking
see.
it way back today.
All presented by Emergency Air, by the way.
All
and
right.
we're live at Flanker Kitchen and Sports Bar on the Great Lawn at State Farm
This is
Stadium.
nice. I like this.
Calais Campbell, when you see him playing at age 39 and he's in his 18th season, your reaction, please, as a former teammate of his.
Pride. So much pride because I was there at the very beginning. I remember when Calais, the thing that I always go back for Calais is 2008, opening kickoff against the Dallas Cowboys.
He's a rookie.
He's a rookie. He's on the kickoff return. J.J. Arrington takes it all the way back to the house. Alongside 28, there's this long stick figure, 93, running right beside him, stride for stride. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, we got something. Calais Campbell is running stride for stride with J.J. Arrington for the opening kickoff return for a touchdown. I'll never forget it. It's my favorite memory of Calais. It just showed the type of spunk he had and the type of passion that he had, and I'm not surprised at the fact that he's still able to do it at such a high level.
It just, to me, it's incredible. We're talking about year 18, man. Year 18.
As a deep
That's for
tackle.
basketball. That's for basketball. Basketball guys can play 18 years. Football?
Yes.
And quarterbacks, basketball players and quarterbacks.
Yeah,
that's what
quarterbacks,
18
of
years
course,
are for.
Especially now with the new rules.
Yeah,
with
but don't get me
quarterbacks
started.
and how much-
Don't
I
get
know,
me started.
exactly.
Don't
They
get me started.
protected and-
Might have to go hit somebody just on
Yes.
GP for that one.
Now, B, can I just ask you this?
Yeah.
We have people here. Of course, they all came out here. They wanted
Yeah.
to see you. But how old are you, B? I mean, like,
I am-
what's your age
I
right
am 50,
now?
brother. I am 50 years old, brother.
You're 50?
I am 50 years old.
Man, I don't ever think of you. You don't
Nifty
look like
50,
you're
brother.
50.
Nifty 50,
Yeah,
brother. Come on,
yeah,
the big
50
5-0.
and fierce.
50 and fierce. I like it.
Okay,
50
so
and fabulous. How about
when
that?
you think back on your career,
Hmm.
man, what are some of the still point moments? when you look back?
Wow, there are so many, Wolf, and there are so many that are tied to this show.
Yeah.
There are so many that are tied to off the field. Like, of course, you're going to remember plays and stuff on the field, but there are so many different things that come to mind when I think off the field. Like, for me, I will never forget the Clydesdale. When we're at Marley's, I will never forget the Clydesdale. That's one of the memories that will forever be etched in my brain as long as I live, because I could not believe how big this creature actually was. And I'm standing next to it, and I felt so small and tiny in that moment. But it also meant the fact that we were going to the freaking Super Bowl. That's what it really meant. So there were a lot of moments about that time, but the Clydesdale was the one thing that will forever stick out in my brain.
There's that. There's the snapshot of you on stage after the NFC Championship holding the
my
George
gosh.
Halas Trophy.
Oh, my gosh.
I think when I think of that, that's word association with you. That's what I think of instantly.
Mr. B giving me that opportunity to take it around the stadium, that was one of the thrills of my life. And, I remember, and I tell people all the time, the opening press conference when I first signed here, I remember the reporters in the room laughing when I said, I'm going to go to a Pro Bowl and I'm going to go to a Super Bowl. And I remember them laughing. I brought my jersey from Pee Wee because I played for the Cardinals in Humble, Texas.
Humble, Texas.
I played for the Cardinals, so it was a full circle moment for me, signing with the Cardinals. And I said, we went to a Super Bowl when I played in this jersey, and I'm going to go to a Super Bowl in the next jersey. And they all laughed. And I never forgot that. I never forgot the feeling and the attitude that people felt like this team can't get there. And I'm like, you know what? We got to roll up our sleeves and go to work because we got something to prove.
Well, that feeling you had standing next to Clydesdale, that's the feeling I have every single time I stand next to 6'8" Calais Campbell.
Yes.
And speaking of attitude, here he is on the message with 7 games to go.
Stay together. Stay together and fight. I mean, ain't much else you really can say. It's like, we down, and nobody's coming to save us. We got to get back up and fight. Figure out a way to be, to win one ball game. Figure out a way to win a football game.
Look, you've been there and done that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've been to a Super Bowl. You've been on teams that were in the top 10 of the draft. You come off a game that's lopsided. You come off a game where you had 17 penalties. The 2 games before, you had 7 combined.
Man.
So what's most important, responding and rebounding after a loss like that?
The biggest thing is you have to get it out of your system as quickly as possible. If you're going to watch the film, you watch it, you make the corrections, and you get it out of your system. You got to flush it right away. You cannot dwell on it. You can't look at it and think about the bad things. You've got to be able to move on to the next game. And I think for this team, it's going to be imperative. Like, there were times where if it was so bad, we didn't even watch the film. If it was super bad, we didn't even watch the film. We just threw that away. But if they did watch it, you go through all of the corrections. You take the lessons and you will go out and you apply them, and you just try to go out each and every day during the next week of practice and just try to get better each and every day.
There were other times as well. I remember Bill Belichick doing this from time to time in Cleveland as well. When we'd play super bad, we'd all watch it together. And now all of a sudden you've got the
Offense,
defense
and
sitting there.
special teams.
The offense is sitting there. The offensive coordinator's got the red dot on you going, and he's correcting you in front of everybody. Stop and think about it. That can really leave a mark as well.
Absolutely.
When you do it in front of everybody.
Your peers, your teammates,
All right, leaving a different sort of mark, here's my segue to Walter Nolen III. And when you talk about film, A.Q. Shipley has gone into the film room recently, and he has documented for everyone just this sort of wrecking ball, how disruptive he has been. In fact, here's Nick Rawlis on Walter Nolen, the rookie, and what he's shown since his debut.
Completeness in the run and the pass game. The pocket is effective whether it hits the stat sheet or not. He rushes with such high motor and just relentlessness to the quarterback. I would even say like on Sweaty sack, Walt was a big part of that, to flush him out high as opposed to being able to step up. So when Sweaty cornered, Brock was right there. So, it's those type of plays. And then in the run game, honestly, plays strong, plays violent. The one thing that really stands out to me, I think I've said this before, is just motor and violence with him.
All right, I want both your thoughts. What do you think? What have you seen so far?
For me right now, it is really impressive thinking this is a young guy that came in, got hurt, very similar to D-Rob, Darius Robinson. And then all of a sudden he got better, and then he tweaked it again. And, it's just a situation where if this guy starts stacking games and being able to go out and play, and the experience he's going to get from it, man, I think he is going to explode in year 2. Now, hopefully, he's going to stay healthy the rest of the way and develop.
Absolutely. For me, it's the quick twitch. The fact that you can see him go one way and then he can swiftly go back the other way. His change of direction is so great at such a young age, and he seems to be learning by the play. Every time you watch him, you see him do something maybe in the first half, and then you see him in the second half of the same game, and he's already learned that lesson. And that's something that's very, very rare for rookies, because rookies, their heads are swimming the entire time.
His feet are so good.
The feet, I'm telling you, the change of direction, the fact that he can go here and then go there, it takes some guys a long time to really figure that out in the league, and you don't always have a lot of time to figure that out.
You know, I distinctly remember asking you more than once how long it takes you to determine whether a guy can play. If you bring him out onto the practice field and you see players and no players, how long does it typically take you to, determine, okay, this guy's got a chance in the NFL or not?
2 reps.
Just stop it. Stop it.
2 reps, Paul.
No.
I'm telling you, you watch a guy move and you see, does he truly have it or does he not? Because the one thing they don't do, Paul, they don't slow down for you. So you got to be able to adapt and adjust very quickly. And if you can do that, yeah, you're going to make your mistakes. But if you can actually hold your own and be that guy, then you definitely can play.
Okay, if you can tell in 2 reps, why don't you have your own scouting website at this point? You know what I mean? A little personnel
Just
website
call it
out
2
there.
reps.
Hey, just give me a call. I'm available.
2reps.com.
2 reps. That's all I need.
All right. Hey, get your hands on the latest gear from the Cardinals team shop. Pick up the hottest items, including the recently dropped Rivalries merch. Go to azcardinals.com/shop today. Yes, that is the voice of Bertrand Berry, the B Train. Rides again on the Big Red Rage, presented by Emergency Air and Flanker Kitchen and Sports Bar on the Great Lawn.
Solo tonight, but it doesn't mean you don't have big news to announce, Bertrand Berry.
Yeah, I just want to, I wanted to make this night special. I wanted to do it here on this show. This show is very special to me. I've done this show for 5 years with 2 great co-hosts and a producer that has been great, and they've made this show spectacular. They made it part of my life, and I'm very thankful for that. And I just wanted to do these guys an honor and letting them know and go publicly that I've played my last game of professional football. I'm retiring.
For real?
Yeah.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. The official announcement right here on the Big Red Rage with Bertrand Berry, calling it a career after 12 glorious seasons in the NFL. And yes, that is deserving of a standing ovation.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Talk about a flashback right there. That was January 21st, 2010. Exactly 15 years and almost 10 months ago. And Bertrand Berry is back on the Big Red Rage, presented by Emergency Air. Ron Wolfley, Paul Calvisi. That must take you back a bit.
Yeah, that takes me back. I wasn't quite ready for that one. That brings back a certain amount of emotions. And to think that I started this game at 9 years old, Paul, and to have played up until that point, I felt like I'd given it everything that I had, and I never wanted to cheat the game or the fans. And that was one of the hardest nights of my life. I didn't write anything down because I didn't want to fumble over it. I wanted to just come off the cuff because, that's what I usually do. But I couldn't think of any other place to do it other than with you two, because it was such a great ride. The three of us over the years and things we were able to experience together. How do you sum up 12 years in 2 minutes? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And, just hearing that again, it's kind of in my feels a little bit. But, I'll be all right.
You're emotional right now.
I'm emotional right now just hearing that again. But, it just shows that, I had a lot of fun, and I was able to spend some time with some great individuals, you guys included, especially my man Omo over there.
Yeah, it's incredible. The hair on the back of my neck standing up as you were saying that, because I remember the memories coming back and what that felt like. And then, of course, you remember when you retired.
Absolutely.
Every player
Absolutely.
that
Absolutely.
hears that remembers when, you knew in your heart and walked away from it. It truly is incredible. What do you miss the most, B, about the game of football?
The locker room.
The locker room.
The locker room.
The dudes.
The dudes, the conversations, the off-script, the teasing, the nonstop ribbing of your teammates, checking out the outfits, what they're wearing, just the all-around jokes, just the ability to be able to be quick-witted and to go back and forth with your guys, those memories are something that I will never forget. And you know, I can think about specific times and specific guys, and unfortunately, some of those guys are no longer with us. You know, that gets me emotional when I think about some of those guys that shared that locker room with me. It was just great. It was a heck of a ride, and I'm certainly proud of everything we were able to accomplish.
Well, you always put the big into Big Red Rage. You and then the guests you would bring in, guys like, I don't know, Anquan Bolden. Speaking of having fun, let's flash back to when he was talking about Robert Tate, an all-timer whose middle name was Top Five.
When you have a nickname Top 5, you automatically set yourself up for all kind of ribbon. You know what I mean? And he calls himself one of the top 5 dressers.
He calls himself Top 5, and it actually has boxers with Top 5 niche in it.
He's taking his nickname to the next level.
Wait.
Top 5 clothing.
We called Robert Tate the locker room hustler. Here's the guy. He rents out his moped, rents the family van. After Thanksgiving, they have the blowout sale. Robert Tate is at Walmart 4 o'clock in the morning to buy a $1,200 plasma TV. Buys about 4 of them, comes to the locker room, and try to sell them to the teammates for about $2,000, $3,000.
This is your boy. This is Top 5.
Who's buying the TVs from Tate and who's renting the moped? That's what I want to know. Does he get any business?
He does. J.J. Aronson was a guy who bought a couple plasmas from him.
You guys were naming names. I mean, just
When you get to that level, you got to give up the names. You got to give up the names because it's too good. It's too good of a story not to give up the names. You got to.
just the laugh on Anquan Bolden alone.
The Quan.
Oh man,
One
so
of my favorite
good.
all-time teammates.
I mean, just tell people who weren't familiar. There was Anquan Bolden we just heard there, and then there was Anquan Bolden between the white lines.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, have you ever had a teammate who was two entirely different people, quite to the degree that Anquan Bolden was?
I'm telling you, Paul, he was one of my favorite teammates of all time because, one, he could flip that switch. When it was time to get on the field, he was just a different dude, and there was something about him he had no fear.
The white lines, man. The white lines.
He had no fear of his own health. He had no fear of other players. All he wanted to do was get the ball in his hands, and he was going to do what he knew how to do. And for him, the thing that unfortunately sticks out to me is New York.
Yep.
In 08. And,
Jets.
The Jets. Yep. And he gets hit, and he's got his mouth wired shut for a couple weeks, and he does not take pain pills, Paul. No pain pills.
Okay, so 2 weeks later, he was on the show. He came on with us, and he had lifted weights, and he's doing a radio show, and his mouth is still half wired shut.
He played, Paul. He played with his mouth wired. Are you kidding me right now? And didn't take pain pills.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
That's
kind of a human does
man.
that?
Yeah.
I know.
Well, and then
just a great guy.
Yeah, and then Larry was on a number of times, and oh my goodness! Yeah. In fact, you know what? Once again, let's go into the cold tub time machine and flashback. How about a best of the Big Red Rage? Bertrand Berry. This will be part 1.
The strongest right arm in the NFL, self-proclaimed Antonio Smith is in the building. What's up, bro?
Dog.
Yes, it just happened.
Some 18-inch guns right there. Is that what it is, Antonio?
Nah, about 22.
No, 22. You and Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Oh, no, Hulk Hogan ain't got nothing on him, bro. Number 81 on the field, number 1 in our hearts, Q. Anquan Bolden is in the building.
So, Q, what was tougher, watching the games from the sideline or the fact that your cheeks puffed up like Ron Wolfley? Oh! Seriously, what was tougher? Everything you ate had to go through that blender, right?
Yeah, for the first 2 weeks, I couldn't eat no solid foods.
Right.
So I lost about 10 pounds, right after the surgery.
Is there any food that you preferred in the blender over another form or what?
I ate a lot of applesauce, a lot of fruit cocktails, blended.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's nothing good that's blended.
Yeah.
You've been cleared to play. Now you just have to decide if that's the best route to go, right?
I've been cleared by all the doctors. I actually look better than what they expected. So, I'm just taking it a day at a time right now.
I mean, come on, really. Is there a chance that you're not going to play?
No.
Exactly. Steve Breston is in the building.
Yeah, go ahead, Steve. What do you have? Pre-game meal.
Sausage, egg McMuffin, orange juice.
And an orange juice. What about you, B?
I would say egg whites.
One-a-day vitamins.
Geritol.
You're gonna some prune juice.
Oh, my goodness.
Larry Fitzgerald is officially in the building.
Thanks for having me, Bert. It's always a pleasure, man. It's always
How you feeling,
a pleasure.
big dog?
I'm feeling great. Thanks for having me.
Is the game easy to you, man?
Definitely a struggle week in and week out. I mean, you practically took me under my wing when I first got here and showed me the ropes and taught me how to dress on the road.
Was that an asset or a liability, the wardrobe tips?
Bert don't dress up anymore.
That's not true.
I don't know what it is.
That's not true. That is not
his
true.
neck got a little bigger, so I guess his shirt's not fitting him anymore.
Wow.
But I've seen Bert using other guys' deodorant in the locker room before. So
Yeah.
Bert's notorious for that, too.
Really?
And he leaves, like, the underarm hair and stuff in there. You got like, come on, Bert.
Oh, man,
Have a little respect for the guys, man.
No way, man.
Wow. Okay. That's there were some
That's
good
awesome.
quotes in there. There's nothing good that's
classic.
blended. That's a
Nothing
solid
good
quote
that's
right there.
blended.
Yeah. And then the prune juice and Geritol. It's that's
The
what
one a day. Come on, the one
Yeah,
a day.
the
That,
one
that,
a day.
I,
Yeah.
I felt personally assaulted by that one. that hit deep right there, Paul.
That's Calais Campbell was giving you the old guy jokes, and now Calais Campbell, oh boy, yeah, from all angles. As you can imagine, he's 39.
Come on now.
Yeah.
I was never 39 in the locker room. I was never 39 with a helmet on. I'll say that. I got the the Walker jokes and all that kind of stuff, but I was never 39 in the locker room trying to play.
Yeah, man, that had to bring back memories. Just
Steve
a
Reston.
flood of memories. All of those guys, all of those names, man.
Just the moments, and
Man.
I shared them with you guys. Just think about it. All
I
of those
know.
moments were
But
right
you
here
had
on
to
this
have
table.
other moments inside that locker room as well with
Of
those
course,
guys, man.
Of course, and some of them we can't air because that's just we got to keep the jobs here. We got to make sure we keep it PG. But there's so many memories that when I think about it, it's almost like a different life. Like I feel like there was the life of a football player, and then there's life after football. Do you feel that way, Wolf?
No,
it's like two
absolutely,
different
man.
lives.
Yeah, it truly is.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, in the NFL, of course, you know how structured
Yes.
your day is.
Yes.
Especially during the season. It's
Yes.
ridiculous.
Yes,
If you're
yes.
playing on a Sunday, you know what you're going to do on
Yes.
Monday. You know what you're going to do on Tuesday.
That's right.
And then Wednesday.
And Thursday.
It's
And
just
Friday. Yes,
buttoned up.
yes.
People, they give you an itinerary every morning. This is what you're going to do. This is your work. This is your day. This is what it's going to be like. Follow the guy in front of you.
No thought to it. You didn't have to think about
the
it.
regiment
Yeah.
of it all, the structure of it all is what I loved.
There is one locker room story, infamous story, legendary story that we'll get to a little bit later on you. You can confirm or deny because it's about you a little bit later. But, gentlemen, we have breaking news. The Germans have arrived. Alex
no.
and Mark are here. Where are they? Oh,
There they are.
And guess what?
What's up, boys?
Hello.
They're fresh off having their long-awaited beer with Trey McBride. How about that?
That's
No,
awesome.
they
That's
so
awesome.
that was
That's
the
awesome.
chopper that came in earlier?
In style with 85 himself
Okay.
arrived, and they were able to share that beer all the way from Germany in the name of having a beer with Trey McBride.
Wow, how
That's pretty
about
cool.
that, man?
That's pretty cool.
That
That's pretty
is.
cool.
Well done, boys.
Yeah.
Black Forest, I got to talk to you because I might go there in the spring. Just saying. Okay.
Well, with a last name like Wolfley.
That's
then,
right.
You know what I mean? Absolutely, Wolf.
Von Booth.
Exactly. By the way, the legendary story was at halftime of a certain game towards the end of a season, the end of your career. You might have hit a contract incentive, and you might have celebrated at halftime in the locker room after you achieved a necessary sack for a boost in play. Pay.
I don't remember exactly what happened, but I do remember being on the field and celebrating. I remember my teammates. This was against the Rams. I remember the day we were at State Farm Stadium right behind us, and I remember after the sack, everybody just came and kind of mobbed me in the middle of the game, and it was one of those where you felt good because you knew your teammates were happy for you. And we all are individual contractors, but when your teammates can celebrate with you and they want you to meet your incentives and be able to get everything that you can out of the game, it makes it that much more special. And I think that team was such a special group, and we genuinely liked each other. And I think that was the reason for all the success, because we were a team that was really together. We liked hanging out outside the stadium and outside the practice field. And so the fact that they were there and able to celebrate with me, that made it all worth it.
You know, as a former wedge buster, of course, I had a favorite wedge that I busted. Okay. Did you have a favorite sack, B?
Steve Young.
Steve Young.
Steve Forever Young. How about that? Steve Young, my second year in Indianapolis, I was able to get him out in Candlestick.
Okay.
And only because it's Steve Young. Now, there's the Peyton Mannings, the Tom Brady's, and all those guys, but not everybody can say they got Steve Young.
That's right.
I was able to say I got Steve Young. And I got a couple hits on Marino, too. We'll talk about that another day.
Yes, it is Bertrand Berry. Yes, it is the Big Red Rage. And yes, you can join us out here at State Farm Stadium February 21st for the inaugural Cardinals Climb fundraising event. You can hike one of several stadium-inspired trails ranging from accessible to advanced. All proceeds benefit the special needs community. Go to azcardinalsclimb.com. That's cardinalsclimb.com. We continue with the Big Red Rage presented by Emergency Air.
Thanks for having me, man.
Honking huge game there. 11 catches, 156 yards, the touchdown. And Q, tell us about this week so far for you. And what was the aftermath?
Yeah, this week is kind of funny. I was joking about this. I have women now come up and thank me for helping them win their fantasy game.
Everyone was on the edge of their seat as you completed that sentence.
Yeah.
But this can't be too much of a surprise that he's actually helping women fulfill their fantasies.
Now wait a minute now. All right. Check, please.
Wow. Okay.
As soon as I hear that, all I want to
I forgot about that. I just had the same reaction again.
All I want to do is go, hey, hey, hey.
That's pretty good.
TV timeout, baby.
All the time.
TV timeout.
Yeah. Well, it's it's the old saying about you can take the player out of the locker room, can't take the locker room out of the player, you can't take the locker room out of the Big Red Rage, presented by Emergency Air. There's our comeback. Welcome back. It is Bertrand Berry. It is a throwback edition. Yes, we're at Flanker Kitchen and Sports Bar on the Great Lawn at State Farm Stadium. Obviously, Ron Wolfley and Anquan Bolden. There were times where Q would show up and I was blinded by the watch he was wearing. It had more, and it was like a hubcap with diamonds. I mean, it was unbelievable. Yeah. So he was singular in that way. Tell us about just the whole dynamic with Fitz and Anquan. You had Kurt Warner. I mean, just think back on some, the Carlos Dansby, who's a singular personality. Just think of the guys. Dockett, who's a really unique guy and one of the biggest dogs you'll ever meet in the game. I mean, think of just some of the dudes in there.
So I'll take you back to 2004. We all come at the same time. Myself, Doc, Carlos, Fitz, right?
Yes.
Antonio,
yes.
right?
Yep.
Stepanovich, the center, right?
Yep.
Those guys, we all came together. I was a free agent. They all were drafted. Then 2005, you had Kurt, you had Roll, you had J.J. Arrington.
And your head coach was the biggest wild card of them all, Dennis Green. Yeah.
Bad.
Rest in peace.
Who was who we thought he was.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
How about that?
Yeah, that's.
How about that? Now we can say that, and it can be good. It can be a good memory.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go right back into it. We need another montage. We need another flashback. Here we go. Best of Big Red Rage with Bertrand Berry, Part 2. Roll it.
Oh my gosh.
Show your love for Kurt Warner, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's great to be here.
Kurt, what was your first job?
And so, my first job was actually detasseling corn back in Iowa. That's what I spent my summers doing. Yeah,
I see.
It was detasseling corn. So that was. But I'm not too bad at bagging groceries, though. I did a pretty good job.
Yeah, you were saying you were.
Bread's always on top. Eggs always by themselves. Yeah. I got it.
Yeah.
But here's the big question right here, Kurt. Do you think you could detassel Paul's hair?
Okay. All right.
Do you think you could do that? Look at that.
Give it up for Calais Campbell in the building.
Thank you.
Nice. I'm feeling good about the fact we're sitting down and not standing. Because then I'd automatically become Paulie point guard. Paulie pint size next to 6'8" Calais Campbell.
Right. Oh, well, Paul, I thought you were standing. So.
We got so many players that come from University of Miami that it's tough.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's not slurp up to you on my show. The dirty, filthy bird. Carlos Dansby is in the building.
Anybody know the national anthem? Who's going to be on the field before the game in Seattle? Yeah. Kenny Loggins.
Kenny Loggins?
Kenny Loggins.
I mean, is he going to be in the danger zone?
Guys. Oh, boy.
He's like Paul. He was in the danger zone when he was born.
Okay.
Los, what is the most embarrassing song that you have on your iPod?
Oh, man. All my songs, I like all my songs, man.
I see guys in the team playing go and find other guys' iPods when they fall asleep, and then they discover, what's on the iPod. I've seen that. That's been a problem for some guys.
No Britney Spears, none of that stuff, man. I'm good over here, Bert.
I'd have to go a little old school. I have to say a little Spandau Ballet.
Ballet. Oh, boy. Good night, everybody.
That do it for me.
Do you have any phobias?
Man, only thing I'm scared of right now, man, is a bear coming out the woods. That's the only
wait a minute.
phobia.
Where do you live?
If I'm in the woods, just, camping or anything, that's the only phobia I have, man, is a bear running up on my tent.
Dominique, did you happen to bring an iron with you? Tell everyone what you do with an iron and bologna.
That's how I make my bologna sandwiches.
Go ahead. Keep going. Tell us how.
Take the iron, I press down on the meat, then I put it on my bread and eat it.
Now, was that just in college, or you still do that to this day?
I still do that to this day.
Oh, nice. Nice.
How do your shirts not smell like bologna?
I got 2 different irons.
Wow.
Come
Dominique Rogers Cromartie. Who?
Come on, man.
The reason that came up, he had an iron in his locker. I'm like, how many football players have an iron in their locker? What's that all about? And then pretty soon, that's how he made his toasted bologna sandwiches.
Oh, my gosh.
Holy cow.
Man, that is incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Ohms. That is what a memory that is, man.
The memories. I mean, and Carlos talking about a bear in the woods. I mean, what are we talking about? Where are we going with that?
I don't know.
Like, when is he ever going to encounter a bear in the woods?
Yeah.
Like that?
I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, some things never change. Earlier today, Calais was mixing up with Dalvin Tomlinson at their locker. Miami against Alabama. They were trading some barbs back and forth. And DT was lamenting he had a big box from Alabama, some swag. But they're still sending him the size he wore in college.
Oh, no.
And so he said he outgrew 2X a long time ago. So anyway, that's the kind of stuff. And that's what you miss the most, right? Just the banter in the locker room.
The locker room, nothing was off limits in the locker room, Paul.
Yes.
You could talk about anything except for wives and kids. You can't talk about wives and kids. That's
Sure.
always off the table. You
Right.
can never go there.
Always.
Sure.
But anything else, it is fair game. And there was always the one saying, when you're in the locker room, if you grin, you are in.
Money Mike used to say that.
If you grin, you are in, and we're going to unleash on you. So if you can dish it out, you better be able to take it.
So once again, B, you know me. I love the reminiscing. I love looking back.
Yeah.
If there was 1 year, you could take 1 year of your NFL career and say, this is the year that I remember the most. Maybe it's because of the coach. Maybe it's because of the team. Maybe it's because of the guys that were actually in the locker room. Maybe it was because that's when you became a player. I really don't care, but if you had to look at 1 year, could you extrapolate that 1 year and say, that was the pinnacle of my career?
Wow.
I know.
Let me think about that one for just a second. I won't be long.
See, if I were you, I would answer the Pro Bowl season. That would seem to be the natural 2004, the 14.5 sacks.
Yeah, but I don't know because I did that by myself. I wanted to experience championships with my teammates. To me, that was always the most important thing. Individual awards were good and you appreciate them, but there was nothing like 2008. 2008 will be that year that I can always look back and say it was worth it. Everything that we went through, all of the different trials, all the hardships, everything that we did was worth it because we were able to get that close. We were 2 minutes and 23 seconds away from our ultimate goal, and I had a chance.
Yeah.
And to have that moment with the fans in State Farm Stadium with the confetti coming down, red and white,
man,
people crying in the stands,
Yep.
me being able to take that trophy around and being able to tell Mr. Bidwell, I told you so. I told you I was going to get it done. And I got a picture of that in my office. There's a picture of him handing me the trophy, and you see me mouthing it to him, I told you I would get there. I told you we would get to a Super Bowl. Those were the type of moments that I will never, ever forget because I got to do it with my guys. We got to do it together. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that no matter what, 2004 was great from an individual standpoint, but nothing will ever top 2008 for me.
You remember the fourth down in Philadelphia? The
gosh.
fourth down.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
The zero blitz.
Yeah.
Bring Huns over the wall. Everybody, do you remember that,
absolutely.
B? I mean, the fact that we were going to the Super Bowl at that point in time, That is incredible.
It's incredible, and I remember playing against the Eagles, of course, and Donovan was a very good friend of mine, still a very good friend of mine, and
Great player,
and great guy, just
Great
a funny
guy.
guy. You know, we would go to each other's fundraising events, and you know, our families know each other very well, and so it was bittersweet in that moment, being you know, you had to go through your friend to do that, but you know, hey.
You know,
if the situation were reversed, he would have did it to me. So you know that's just how that goes. You can't duck everybody. But at the same time, I will never forget just the feeling in that stadium with the confetti coming down, the people in the stands crying, carrying that trophy around, and having the family around me. It was those. I have so many pictures in my head. And then I have so many physical pictures of me with the trophy and with the guys on the stand. And I remember my brother was somehow able to get on the stage.
Not on the field, on the stage.
On the stage, because he had my jersey on, and the guys thought that he was me. So he had 92 Berry on, and they were like, yeah, go ahead and get in. And I was like, how did you get on the field, first of all, and then how did you get on the stand?
Yes.
So you know, there were so many moments from that time that I couldn't forget if I wanted to. So to answer your question, 2008.
Yes,
that's
2008.
That year made everything.
I loved how
worth
we
it.
got to 2008.
Yeah, 2008.
The story in and of itself was awesome.
Yeah, 2008.
It's
unforgettable.
And obviously, we're under the gun here. Was there anything from that team you could apply to this year's team? Is there anything from a team that lost, got dominated on Thanksgiving night in Philly, the snow game in New England, some really lopsided losses, and then all of a sudden flip the switch?
The practices after the Minnesota or after New England. Kurt didn't have a drop ball. We were practicing. We were focused. We were laser focused. You've got to have that moment where everybody just says, "Hey, no matter what, let's just go do it."
Interesting. Really interesting. All right, yes, that is Bertrand Berry, the B Train. It is the Big Red Rage presented by Emergency Air. We continue from Flanker Kitchen and Sports Bar on the Great Lawn at State Farm Stadium. We'll talk about Cardinals and Jaguars next on the Big Red Rage, the original Thursday Night Football.
Two receivers left, one to the right, Dillon in the backfield. And Brady drops and throws, pumps right, and then Brady is sacked by Bertrand Berry. It's his first Cardinal sack. Snap to Rodgers, drops to throw. He's being pressured. He steps up, rolling right, being chased by Berry. You got him. Sacks him back at the 12-yard line. 2 sacks already for the B-Train.
Bertrand Berry, once again, the B-Train on the tracks rolling.
How about that? A young Dave pass, Ron Wolfley there. As your first Cardinals sack was against a young Tom Brady, and your last Cardinals sack against a young Aaron Rodgers. Talk about bookends to your Cardinals career. Bertrand Berry, the B-Train, is our guest on the Big Red Rage presented by Emergency Air. We are live at Flanker Kitchen and Sports Bar on the Great Lawn at State Farm Stadium. I was not aware of the name recognition, right? The luminaries that you took down for the first and last.
You know, I hadn't really thought about that either, Paul. I mean, I always wanted to just go and get whoever was next. Whoever was in front of me, I wanted to go get him, but I didn't realize that the first one was Tom Brady and the last one was Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, so
that's crazy.
Sports quiz on your own career.
Yeah.
Your first ever NFL sack, 1998, against?
The Chargers. It was Ryan Leaf.
Yes.
Oh,
Ryan Leaf.
Ryan Leaf.
How about
Wow.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
At the RCA Dome.
Oh, RCA Dome.
RCA Dome.
You
No
write
longer
that
with
down.
us.
All right, so what are your thoughts on Josh Sweat? What do you think of Josh Sweat, who, by the way, is in the top 5 of sacks in the NFL? 9 sacks, 14 quarterback hits, 11 TFLs, 3 forced fumbles in 10 games.
I love his range. I love his motor. He's one of those long, rangy guys that he looks like a gazelle when he's out there running. And the fact that he has the hands, he's got the ability to change and dip and change directions. I love everything about him. I think he is one of those guys that you can obviously build around as far as being a foundational piece for a defense. And obviously he already has the Super Bowl ring to his credit. But I think he's done a tremendous job here this year, and I think he's one of the better free agent pickups. If you look around the league, as far as what new guys and new situations are doing, he has to be one of the guys at the very top.
All right, so now you get the Jaguars, and Nick Rawls is talking about this Jaguars offense that did not punt in the game against the Chargers. The punter and the long snapper took a selfie in the locker room with Trevor Lawrence just to commemorate the fact that it's the first game in his 10-year NFL career he didn't have to punt. He did nothing all game, the punter.
Okay, but let's take it easy, though. It's not like these guys are, the favorites for the Super Bowl. I mean, okay, you hadn't punted in one game. That's one game. Go do it again, guy.
Okay, all right.
How about that?
Well, here's Nick Rawls on that Jacksonville O.
They're complete right now on offense. They're able to run the ball. They got two really good backs that can set up their action game, their keeper game, or when they got to actually, it's drop back. Trevor Lawrence plays at a high level, and they're able to utilize a lot of different receivers. So they're playing complete football, I would say. And, it's a really good system. They have a really good coaching staff, just guys from all over the place that we've gone against in the past kind of together on one staff, and you see the creativity.
If the playoffs started today, Jacksonville would be in, and the Chiefs would be out. So, I mean, but Trevor Lawrence in his career has thrown just as many picks as he's thrown touchdowns. He's also 6'6". Budda Baker said today, he said, he doesn't really get down. He'll run, and he won't slide. So Budda, I think, was sending a message to the media, you better get down or we're going to hit you.
Yeah, here's the thing about the Jaguars, Paulie. They can run the ball. This is what they do. They're number 8, as a matter of fact, in rushing yards per game and number 17 in rushing yards per play. So they're right about in the middle, but they do run the ball. That offensive line is rebuilt. It's revamped as well. But, man, Trevor Lawrence, once again, they're not as effective in terms of throwing the ball as I thought they were going to be this season. I thought this was going to be a takeoff year with Trevor Lawrence, and right now he's got a quarterback rating, and I'm big on this, a quarterback rating for the most part. It's just a very general stat for how a human being is playing the quarterback position, just like defensive quarterback rating. When you flip it over and look at a defense, it's a good measurement of how they defend the pass. Trevor Lawrence is 79.4 in terms of quarterback rating.
Really?
He's under 80, and typically if you're in the 80s, you're not having a great year.
That's correct.
If you're in the 90s, you're okay. You're over 100, that's where you want to be. Over 100, of course, with a quarterback rating. You're over 110, you're killing it. Trevor Lawrence has struggled. He's thrown 8 picks on the season, and that has been something that he needs to get better at.
Kind of the story of his career. I mean, it's kind of hadn't really realized his full potential. He has these moments where he does some good things, but then he has those games where it's just like, how do you explain that turnover? How do you explain that throw? And how do you explain running in that situation? Why did you make that decision?
Yes, it's with Trevor Lawrence, it's almost all or nothing.
Yeah.
When he's on, and you're in trouble. When he's not, oh boy.
And the one thing about a guy like Trevor Lawrence, I loved quarterbacks like Trevor Lawrence because, one, there's a lot of body to go get. He's 6'6", so there's a lot of body I can go get, right? I don't have to have a perfect rush.
It.
Yeah, I don't
Wax
have to have
the back.
I don't have to have a perfect rush to go get him. I can just go do my thing. But I think for him, the Cardinals really just have to make sure that they don't allow him to get his confidence. Because to me, he seems like a guy that once he gets going, he has a lot of success. But if you are able to, get him confused at the beginning, he tends to struggle quite a bit.
We're also going to see Dennis Gardeck, the Barbarian.
Oh,
he'll be out there.
What is good, Dennis?
Wolf had a lot of regrettable nicknames, but the Barbarian was a good one. All right, that was a good one. It was also really good to have the B Train in the house tonight. How about it, everyone? Bertrand Berry. Man, was this outstanding. Special thanks, as always, Jim Alejandro, Cody Fincher, Lawrence Ellis. Hey, the German Bird Gang members, Alex and Mark.
What's up, Alex, Mark?
For Ron Wolfley, I'm Paul Calvisi. Again, Bertrand Berry. It's been the Big Red Rage presented by Emergency Air.
Chaw!